A new body every 2 months for 2 years straight. You heard me right. An 11 body streak. Shorty dropped a K9 unit. And that's just a verified intel. We don't even know the half of it, right? More times than not, it's probably 2 times, 3 times that number, right? But that's a verified number that we have heard directly from the source. So as of recent, it's come to my knowledge that one of my good friends, one of my best buddies, one of my childhood friends has been in a situation where it looks like he might potentially become Captain Save a 304. So this is a code red situation, right? So as of recent, me, my other best friend, and my other best friend, group of 3, we're basically all talking. And he told us about this scenario where this girl that's, brand new for context, we don't know her, he just met her, basically told him that she has a K9 unit in bodies in the past 2 years, right? Like I said, it's probably like 20 to 30, right? But let's just leave it. 11 is bad enough. I don't even need to exaggerate it. That's a verified number. So pretty much, she has been talking to him and laying down her whole life story, blah, 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 blah. And, he started to feel bad. So that right there already is a code red. That is a get out of there right away, blow up the whole situation, throw the phone out the window. Like, if Shorty told that to me, like, I can't even talk. I'm losing my mind because the situation is just so stressful, right? Like, that is my brother, bro. I can't see him go down that path, right? But he told us that he's not going to, but it gets worse, right? So pretty much, she wanted to hang out with him, and he feels bad. So he's like kind of caught up with it, and they've been texting and whatnot and talking, and he won't cut it off, which is what me and my other boy were trying to tell him to do. So pretty much, they were going to hang out, and we tried to stop this. But guess what? They did. And it seems that things went well. The problem is, what if things start going too well? Bro might, catch a little play, and then once you, catch a play, you got a little bit more, into the situation, and you never know. He's a sweetheart. This is the worst part, right? My boy, like this guy we're talking about, he's a really nice guy, like really solid dude. Like, you guys can see he feels bad. If I heard 11 bodies, I would not feel bad. I would RKO that. I'm not taking no chances. Straight up Randy Orton, and running for my life. But he feels bad. He's basically an unpaid therapist, right? For a girl that, mind you, she's irrelevant. We don't know her. He just met her randomly, right? So this is where we're all concerned. And I wanted to talk about this topic because I'm sure a lot of us in life, a lot of us, young men, even old men, all types of men, right? We've been in this situation where you come in contact with one of these demons, one of these, 304s that are very scary, and they can have good personalities. The fact that they deal with so many men on a I don't know what type of basis, probably daily. You know what I mean? They know how to get along with people. They have good people skills. They talk. They can be really sweet. They can be really manipulative, but also really malicious, right? They're like malware. Once they get into your brain, you're corrupted, right? You can't let the games fool you. But basically, we're scared that our boy is gonna get fooled. So they hung out today, and pretty much, according to my boy, nothing went down. He told us he's not gonna engage in any sort of activities because she's canceled, but he just feels too bad. But now I'm scared. I don't want to see him go down that path. I hope he doesn't. But in general, I just want to talk about this topic now, just because I find it interesting, right? So, like I was saying, there's a lot of people nowadays that got caught up in these situations, and then you don't want to be the guy that, ends up getting hurt by a girl like this, right? And, as of late, I've been noticing this is happening a lot more than usual. It's all over me lately. Not me personally, thank God. I could never have no shit like that near me again. I rebuke all that bullshit. Keep that shit far, far away. But throughout my friends' lives and my experiences of seeing it happen to other people, right? And the reason why this situation is so scary is because another one of our very close friends basically got his life ruined by a 304 when we were younger. He dated a girl knowing that, she was kind of whack. And we try to warn him a lot of times. To the point where even his mom and his sisters were telling him bro, I don't think this is the one. But he just would not listen. Puppy love and whatever, it was his first girl. But sometimes people you got to take your friends' advice. When you have good homies and they're trying to tell you some shit, I'm telling you right now, you got to listen to that, man. Because we tried to warn this guy. Basically, some context. One of my homies from when we were really young, well, not really young, around the same time, basically was with a girl. And she was one of those girls that, kind of talks to every guy, gives attention to every guy. You never want to be with a girl like that, right? You never want to be with someone that's too overly friendly. It's just never going to work in your favor. more context, one of my new friends who like I met recently, I brought this girl up through a conversation. We were just talking about the situation and shit, and he knew who the girl was exactly. And he was like, before I said anything, was like, oh yeah, I remember her and her best friend just used to like, you know, talk to everybody. Like, and I'm like, holy shit, like this is a universal experience. And mind you, I alley-ooped this girl to my homie, but the reason I alley-ooped her is because I knew she was a 304 from a young age. I was smart, so I was like, I'm not dealing with this bullshit. So I alley-ooped it to my boy because I thought, like, you know, he's never, you know, really like talked to girls like that. You know, he really liked her. They're from the same culture and whatnot, so like it was like a perfect bash. But like thinking back, perfect bash, what the hell is that? Perfect match, same shit. But like thinking back, that was a bad idea because, like, you know, it was a little bit too good for him. But I tried to warn him. Long story short, they dated for 5 years and she did some really, really tragic shit. And, like, I mean, like, really, really tragic. And, like, just ruined the whole relationship. And also derailed his whole life. I mean, you can just imagine the mental toll that would take on you, bro. You're with a girl for 5 years. You invest everything into her and she ruins everything. This guy went to college, got his degree, got a job in his field, was doing good for himself at a young age, comes from a really wealthy family who has like bread, his family's doing really good, and she just ruined everything, right? And I mean, by no means is that all completely the girl's fault. I mean, she is a piece of shit, but come on, like, you can't also throw your life away just because some situation like that. So it's not completely all on the girl, but I mean, it definitely led to the events that ruined his life. It ruined his mental health, which led to a lot of substance abuse, which led to him losing his license, which led to him losing his job, which led to like everything just going bad, right? And like I said, like his life was going really good. He had everything going for him, and it all just derailed because of this. But that's just what's so scary, right? Like you can invest all your time and efforts into someone and they can just be gone like that. So you got to make sure you invest your time and efforts into the right person. And it's not always easy. So if it happens to you, if you get caught up in these problems, it's okay. It's a part of life. It's a part of learning. But you got to make sure to get better, to improve, to be smarter, and to make better decisions. And that's why I'm making this video, because I don't want to see anyone else go through this that doesn't have to go through this, man. Save yourselves and save your mental health. These 304s are dangerous. And even as a recent, bro, one of my other friends, he got caught up with one of these, you know, these succubus women. You know what I mean? The succulents, as one would say, you know. They got him. You know what I mean? They got him good. And he was, you know, getting comfortable. He was talking to her for a while. Luckily, though, he's smart enough. He's a little bit more experienced. You know what I mean? He knew to get himself out of the situation. But I mean, these type of girls, man, they're really scary. Because like I said, they're really nice. They're really friendly. Everyone around you is like, oh my God, she's so sweet. She's so fun to talk to. Nah, bro, she's only fun to talk to because she talks to like 50,000 other guys before you. So she's just playing a game. It's just all like, it's all, she's running the play. You know what I mean? It's like running a simple play. It's like an inbounds play in basketball. You drill it a million times in practice. You call the play, you screen here, you move there, you do this, and the ball gets inbounded. Like, she knows what she's doing, bro. The ball is always in her court. You can't with these people. There's no winning. You can't change her. And even if you do, there's only a matter of time. It's like a ticking time bomb before she explodes and craves more attention. There's no winning. And I can speak off first-hand experience. I mean, I'm grateful I learned this shit at a young age, right? But long story short, when I was 16 years old, there was a girl that was 3 years older than me, right? Basically, I knew her since I was young. And basically, one day when I was in high school, she came to go pick up her cousin. And I got basically caught up with her, right? So she basically wanted to, you know, talk to me. And obviously, when you're 16 years old, you're a young man. And you see someone that's like, damn, like, I grew up with you, you're way older than me, and now you want to talk to me, blah, blah, blah. It's a little bit intriguing, right? Long story short, I got caught up in the nonsense. So this is where this shit bit me in the ass, right? This girl ended up being a Hall of Fame level threat 304. So obviously at the time she wasn't as bad, but she definitely had those tendencies, but I couldn't see that because I was just a 16-year-old naive kid, right? And I'm just living life, right? Obviously, it's not really a situation I wanted to be in, but to be real with you guys, I genuinely just got caught up in a bad situation. I didn't even want to be there after the fact, but I just felt stuck, you know? You know me, like I never had these kind of 304 tendencies, like even as a man, you know what I mean? I didn't want my shit to be like the master key, like just unlocking everything. You know what I mean? I don't want that. So pretty much when I got involved with this thing, it was obviously my first little thing when I was 16 years old. I was a little bit like, okay, well, I'm kind of stuck. Like, I got to commit, right? Stuck in a bad situation. Long story short, I stopped giving a fuck. I stopped really putting effort into it. Like, I really did nothing. Like, I did not care whatsoever, right? long story short, there was this rapper from my city, kind of not like a rapper singer, like, you know, he made music, and like he's not really famous, but like at the time, like he was pretty famous. Like I'm from Toronto, and he had like a Drake cosign, you know what I mean? Like he was really doing like good for himself at the time. He was popping, right? Long story short, my you know, girl at the time when I was 16 years old, she got invited to like a music video shoot. You all know how that goes, right? But like I said, at that point I really didn't give a fuck, because I already knew like it's not really a place I want to be anyways. I wasn't really fighting for her, right? She went there, nothing happened. That day was actually like fine. She was fully transparent. She was like, you know, talking to me like while she was there, and like, you know, like everything was fine. I was like getting FaceTimes and shit. I was talking to like his manager and shit, and him, and everything was all fine and dandy, right? Like everything seemed calm. Next thing you know, so a couple of days later, she gets a phone call from his manager or a text message. I don't really know what it was. I heard about this story, you know, through her friends and like through pressing. Like I found this shit out, right? Basically, he told his manager like, yo, I'm trying to link this girl, yada yada yada, and he picked her up late at night, and he straight cracked, you know, my like shorty at the time, right? And I'm like, damn. Like think it back, like this shit didn't really phase me because I was 16. This guy was a grown man. I mean, she was already 3 years older than me. This guy was like, I'm pretty sure 2 to 3 years older than her. So this motherfucker almost has like, well, he has like 5-6 years on me, right? I'm a jet. So like it really didn't matter like that, right? To be honest, I think he's probably even older. But next thing you know, that happens, and then I got caught up in the bullshit of like, oh my god, like, can we see through this? Is this ever forgivable? And like, no, it's just not. Like, I just really didn't give a fuck. That shit turned me to a demon. That's when I started hating all 304s, and I tried to warn all my friends around me, because I learned this lesson at a very young age, and then my boys didn't listen to me, and look at the path that he ended down. So I think that my current friend that's going through this situation will listen to my advice, and I hope he doesn't get caught up in that. If he does, there will be a sequel to this video explaining why he's an absolute idiot, but I have more faith in him than that. But yeah, to segue out of that situation, after that relationship, obviously, you know, a lot of other 304s are going to start hitting your line. I mean, it looks cool to other girls. I don't know. Everyone knows this. You know, girls like guys that get girls, right? So when I'm young and I'm with a girl that's that much older than me, all the girls my age are kind of like, you know, all the 304s are going to try to haul at me, right? But I wasn't dealing with none of that, because like I told you, I'm not really the type of guy that's just going to go and deal with everything. Like, I don't have it in me. You know what I mean? So pretty much then all these like wild girls from like, you know, my area and like, you know, that knew me and shit started hitting me up. And this is just another leeway about 304, just because I'm on a generational rant right now. You know, there was 3 girls from my actual area, like that I grew up in, that became actual like big like OF girls, which is like so crazy to think about, right? That I actually interacted with. They turned into actual demons. Like I'm talking like, and one of them is like super mega popular, and like the other 2, they were like, you know, like they're like relatively popular. Like they would get on like, they got on like stream with like big streamers, and then like another one's like was like really popping on like TikTok and shit. And I've had like real world like interactions with these like actual demons. And what's so wild is this happened when we were like really young. Like I knew these people when we were like what, like still in like high school, you know what I mean? And like from that point on, it really stuck with them. Like they don't change. So if you get in an encounter with one and you see one, run, because there's no saving her, bro. You're not bringing her back. And if you're the type of man that thinks that you can see through all that and stick with that, yo, I don't even know what to say to you, bro. Like my mind cannot fathom that. Like that doesn't sit right with me. But I guess somebody gotta do it, right? But like what's so crazy is there's really people out here that can like live with that. You know what I mean? Like there's like women that are like super like openly promiscuous online. You know what I mean? Like really popping everything online for everyone to see, and they have husbands. Like, they have whole ass people that they're married to. How do you come home and look your woman in her eye and know that that's what she's doing, and you can live with that? Oh my goodness, I can't even imagine, bro. This shit, it's stressing me out just talking about this topic. That's why I had to rant. But I guess I should add in something that's like, you know, a little bit more wholesome at the end of the video, because this video has really been just like a 304 bash, but rightfully so. Like F all of them. I seen them ruin so many people's lives. I'm not dealing with that shit. I'm against every single one. None of them have my respect. They will never have my respect. I'm trying to put an end to all this shit. I'm trying to save everyone. All that being said, if you do find a good person, I mean, hold it down, you know what I'm saying? Don't fumble, treat them right, make the right decisions. You know, just like this goes for men and women. You know, when you find a good person, you also have to equally value that, because we live in a world nowadays where this shit is just out of hand. Everybody's doing all this wild shit. You can't find a good person. Everyone's being promiscuous. When you do find that good woman, you do find that good man, hold it down. Do right by them. Don't get lust, bullshit, life, mistakes, or anger, or whatever. Get in the way of your relationship. You know what I mean? Hold it down. Fight for your love. Don't fumble the bag. But all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good one. And if you're still here right now, comment down below. Still here. You know what I mean? I don't know. That was very basic. But yeah, more videos like this will come. If there's any other topics you guys want me to talk about, feel free to leave it down in the comment section below. It's definitely something I want to do more. I want to diversify. I want to show personality. I want to talk about my opinions and just rant and just make, you know, random bullshit like this just for you guys to watch. Not all Call of Duty, but of course Call of Duty will still be here. I will be having another Call of Duty commentary coming out very soon, most likely the day after this video comes out. But yeah, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm leaving that in, bro. I'm too tired. Take it easy.